recently binge-watched Bob's Burgers in its entirety, revisiting all my old favourites and catching up on all the episodes I'd missed. It's a really funny show, with a refreshing improvisational looseness that you don't see in many animated series. But what makes it truly great is its wholesome, feel-good tone. There are so many sitcoms about deeply dysfunctional families. It's nice to see one about a healthy family who genuinely love each other and support each other. Bob's Burgers has a ton of iconic episodes, like the spot-on brony satire, The Equestranauts, and the 100th episode spectacular Glued Where's My Bob. But there's one late season episode in particular, a Christmas episode appropriately, that stuck out to me as the epitome of what a wonderful show this is, and what a touching representation of familial love it is. Bob's Burgers has a lot of great Christmas episodes, from Christmas in the Car to the Bleakening two-parter, but far and away the best of the bunch, and certainly the most moving, is season 13 episode 10, The Plight Before Christmas. Bob and Linda are distraught to learn that all three of their kids have Christmas performances on the same night, meaning they can only make it to one performance each and the other kid will inevitably be left out.
Dear God, why? There's gotta be a way. What time does everyone's thing start?
6.
Ah!
Lynn, easy. So someone's gonna call the police. Hi, she's happy. She's good.
Jean is performing in a xylophone concert at the school, Tina is playing the star in her Thundergirls Troops holiday show, and Louise is reading her contest-winning poem at the library. Louise claims she only entered the poetry competition as a joke to sneak in a dirty word, so she doesn't mind if no one sees it. So Bob goes to Jean's show, Linda goes to Tina's show, and Louise is left alone at the library. In the car, Tina berates Louise for not taking the contest seriously, and tells her she should have written a real poem from the heart, but Louise just gets defensive. Jean and Tina face their own conflicts at their performances. Jean's music teacher has a burst appendix, so his concert is being directed by a substitute who doesn't know the show, and a different Thunder Girl named Harley is gunning for Tina's role as the star.
Watch your back. She's gunning for you. They all are.
But Tina is conflicted about something else. As she thinks more about it, Tina figures out that Louise is lying, and she did write a real poem from the heart, and her reading actually means a lot more to her than she let on.
I think she was embarrassed to admit that it might actually be important to her.
What? That sneaky sneakhead! And no parent there to see it! She's all alone!
I absolutely adore every character in Bob's Burgers. I love how deadpan Bob is, I relate to how awkward Tina is, I love how outgoing Linda and Jean are, and I find Teddy both adorable and hilarious. But I think my favourite character is Louise. I have a soft spot for seemingly self-assured characters whose confident bluster is shown to be a cover for a deep vulnerability, like Michelle in Derry Girls or Cousin Richie in The Bear, and Louise is a perfect example of this. Louise wants to come off as a rabid, unhinged monster, but underneath all the insanity, she's got a huge heart. You can see that when she worries about growing distant from Bob, you can see that when she supports Rudy at the dinner with his parents' new partners, and you can see that in this beautiful Christmas episode. As Louise sits alone at the library with no one to support her, she considers ditching her sincere poem and reading the jokey one instead. Bob desperately tries to get down there to see her performance, but he goes to the wrong branch of the library. Linda wants to go, but she doesn't want to leave Tina, and then she finds that Tina has given her star costume to Harley and made her own way to the library. At the same time, Jean is salvaging the disastrous xylophone concert by altering his classmates' instruments and having them play Philip Glass's Mishima score. This is where the episode culminates in its emotional climax. Jean's incredible musical creation takes over the soundtrack as Louise steps up to read her poem. She sees Tina amongst the crowd and she's inspired to read her sincere poem and allow herself to be vulnerable. Louise's poem is really heartwarming and it reveals how much her family means to her. It's all about how the real gifts on Christmas morning aren't the things she unwraps under the tree. The real gifts are her mom and her dad and her brother and her sister.
I didn't expect to feel this way. I was focusing on Santa. But the best presents are sitting here. And they aren't even wrapped up.
When she's done reading it, she gets a round of applause from the audience, including Linda, who made it in time to catch the end. Bob's Burgers tackles the issues of parenting more honestly and directly than most other animated family sitcoms. And this episode tackles the very real logistical problem that if you have more kids than parents, you can't always be there for all your children. But if you've raised the kids right, they'll be there for each other. And sometimes just being there for someone you love is more than enough. You know how they say 90% of success is just showing up? Well, 90% of expressing love is just showing up. You don't always have to make some grand gesture for the people you care about. Most of the time, all the support they need is just for you to be there for them. If you're not crying by the time Louise reads her poem, which is unlikely, then you'll definitely lose it over the closing montage. The original version of the Mishima score plays as we see Bob reading Louise's poem, Bob taking Jean to the hospital to show his music teacher their concert performance, and the Belcher kids opening their Christmas presents. It's just one touching image after another. This episode will undoubtedly make you cry your eyes out, but it'll be a good cry. It'll be a cathartic, tears of joy kind of cry. By the end, it leaves you with the warm, fuzzy feeling that all the classic Christmas stories do. It'll get you into the holiday spirit, but more importantly, it'll give you a new appreciation for the people you love. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.